Yes.
Hello, everyone. So sorry I am late for Real Housewives of New Jersey. I was out of town and had some time change, all of these other things. Okay, so this is season 13, episode 5. First of all, I am in love with Paulie's house. Like his house is really fly. Moving on. Danielle is so over the top. Her over the top personality. I don't know if this is who she is or if this is what she's doing for the show. Whichever one is taking place, she is really over the top. However, I think it's still adorable. I loved when she was prepping the kids for the birthday party walk-in, and then the birthday party was just absolutely over the top Barbie, which was really really cute. Um, I appreciate when Danielle made a comment. She's listening to how, like, later on, they got into an argument at Jennifer's house. Well, it's really between Margaret and the other Jennifer. And Danielle's like, I ain't telling y'all nothing because how you guys throw things up into people's faces is just something that she's not willing to do. And I stand for that statement. You do need to keep you need to keep some of your personal life personal. Anyway, even though this is a reality show. So we have Rachel, first of all, love her grandmother. Her grandmother is so hilarious. She has like no filter. She's like, why don't you call me? And she starts excusing. She's like, how long does it take for you to pick up the phone? Punch, punch a few buttons. Hello. I was like, okay, I love her. And then, but I do wonder, and maybe this is me being a little bit of a prude. I do curse, but to have every other word a curse word in front of the kids seems to be a bit of a stretch for me. So I just thought it was kind of over the top. Now, Jennifer and Bill. I think Jennifer is really resentful of Bill. She's still not over it, even though she claims that she is. And, ma'am, like, I just want you to realize that she keeps throwing up. Okay, so we're at Jennifer's house, and Jennifer and Margaret get into it, and and they're throwing jabs. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of this, I started to stop listening. And my thing is, um, I don't understand. Jennifer keeps bringing up like the possibility of this relationship that she has being that Margaret is jealous of her relationship. And it's like, why would Margaret be jealous of her relationship? Because Jennifer, babe, your relationship sucks. And I mean, you have a bunch of stuff. You have a nice house. I love her ring. All of these different things. However, um, your relationship's not good. So it's nothing that anybody would be jealous over. And I think it's interesting how many times Jennifer keeps repeating how bad Rachel's nose is. And I'm gonna be honest, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's bad. And I know I've said it. I'm not sure if that's enough to continue to keep making digs on the same woman about how bad her nose job is. I'm sure she knows that she has a sucky nose job. I don't think she does. But the more that you look at it, the more the nose sucks. Anyway. Um, but Margaret. Margaret has really no filter. I've never liked her though. And I know that there may be some positive attributes of Margaret. I just haven't yet to find them. And at least she's straightforward, let's put it that way. And I think that that's commendable. But when I think it was on episode 1 or 2 of this season, where she's like, Teresa doesn't think before she speaks. And it's like, Margaret, you don't think either before you speak. So when you get angry, you just say anything and everything to be very hurtful. You're not mindful at all. And adults should always think before they speak. Now, Melissa and Teresa. So we have this Melissa has a driving lesson, which Antonia, she's struggling. And, I'm not even going to judge her on it. I think you're a kid, you're supposed to struggle. I'm open to your struggle. So, um, I'm open to the struggle of she didn't want to turn in the drive through. I think a lot of this is fun when you're teaching your kid how to drive and the struggle and everything. So making it such a big deal seems strange. However, why would you give her a driving lesson in such a very, very large car? Like, large cars are very difficult to try to navigate and turn in. So it seems kind of strange that you would give this person a very, very large car. Anyway, and then finally, I'm kind of torn here. I know that Melissa talks to Antonia about the issues that she has with Joe and Teresa, and I'm not sure. I mean, I guess that there should be some words coming out about the relationship between, Joe and Teresa to try to keep the kids out of it. I don't I don't know how you keep the kids out of it because they're no longer kids, they're teenagers. And so anything that they do is going to be feeling like the parents influence them. But I also think that, Melissa, you really shouldn't be talking about the kids having hate in their heart last episode if you really want to keep the kids out of it. And you also shouldn't be talking about the kids on the podcast if you want to keep the kids out of it. So you shouldn't be talking about the kids' specific names if you want to keep the kids out of it. Um, I did not like how she wanted to blame Danielle. It's Melissa is a little ish starter on this season. And so I do not like how she whenever she's kind of wants to get off of talking about Teresa, which is hardly ever, then she scooches over and be like, hey, so who such and such said about you, and then it starts this big fight and she's like, oh, I didn't know about the fight. Like, come on. So I did not like how she claimed that it's Danielle's fault about how her and her brother are not in communication. You don't know the ins and outs. And clearly, I'm sure it's probably something bigger than reacting to Danielle's social media because he could just hit unfollow. But I could also make the same claim about a lot of stuff that you do. Like, so I think that you probably shouldn't be talking about other people's relationship in your relationship. Is she? Um, Finally, I did love Jennifer, right? Jennifer made a comment about, first of all, her house is adorable. When everyone started when Jennifer and Margaret was getting loud, she's like, look, this is not Teresa's house. I have neighbors. And Teresa's like, yeah, I have 6 acres. And it was kind of funny. So clearly, when Jennifer tells Jennifer, you got to go, because Margaret was going to leave, and she's like, Margaret, no, you stay. Jennifer, you leave. And Teresa's like, okay, deuces, I'm out too. So, um, the convo of Teresa and the kids at the wedding dress try on was kind of awkward. But you have to remember that these aren't kids anymore. They're 21 and 16.
Can't believe that the youngest is that young, is that old now.
Anyway, 21 and 16.
Is that the youngest?
Not the youngest. But the point is that 21 and 16, and maybe that is the youngest, the one she gave birth to on the show. Huh. Um, and when they made a comment saying that Melissa's combo with them was kind of high and by, I don't think that was an appropriate response. It could have been that you could have said that the conversation was pretty short. The kids didn't really say much, so there's that. But it was really awkward. I don't the Jennifer fight was a bit ridiculous though, going back to that. It was kind of rude, it was really kind of hurtful. Like I said, I kind of tuned out after a while. By the way, now we get to this when we get to the birthday party, did people bring gifts? I didn't see not one person walking up there with the gift. Um, the Barbie doll, the kid's birthday. Now, I don't understand why Louis is all in the mix trying to ask different questions about their relation, when it comes to Margaret. I feel like this is I mean, but on this show, the men do typically get involved with the women's stuff and then be like, leave that to the women. And it's like, wait a second, you can't have it both ways. You can't leave it to the women and then get in all of people's business. And then finally, I'm not sure about this whole bashing Margaret in front of the new girls. I think people need to that is okay to do. Warn them. I mean, who needs to be warned? You're going to find your way. And then you'll discover, oh, I don't like her. And then you come together. But to be like, be careful about Margaret. I think that was a y'all don't like her, which is legit because I don't like her either. Jennifer and um Teresa don't like Margaret. Legit. But to be like, keep her close. I'm just warning you, she ain't that good. That's a bit much. Anyway, after this, I'm going to do episode 6. Bye.